eliminated from the players with Sem 9, and now Morph, what is going to be the plan? The last surviving player, how long will he be able to survive? There's a vehicle right exactly in front of him, but as soon as he'll be giving in those sound cue, there's one player who is really very besides from the Sem 9. Oh, he knows there's an enemy. He knows there's an enemy. He is well prepared for the same, but having a fight inside the play zone again is a very, very risky call. Sem 9 Tam is still there. He's still waiting for that right opportunity. And even Bobo knows that there's one player. Oh, no. Morph, he just located his, he just gave his location out there. He just compromised out of his location, and now he's trying to make his way inside the play zone, because the zone is also shrinking in some 6 to 5 seconds, which means the damage gets amplified more and more. And now these players need to make their way inside, because even if you talk about the healing, wait, what? Look at the play zone. Look at how hard shifts it is having.
Yeah, the hard shifts are absolutely amazing. A complete southern shift. Initially it was a southern zone, and after that again another southern dip was there. And this time again, if we talk about the particular play zone, it's kind of a situation where 45% area is again unplayable. If you really go for the southern island, that was the lossy coast.
हेलो एवरीवन, स्वागत है आप सभी का इस फेस्टिवल में जिसका नाम है BGIS द ग्राइंड। ये महज एक टूर्नामेंट नहीं है, ये शुरुआत है एक रेवोल्यूशन की। दिस इज द बिगनिंग ऑफ द बिगेस्ट एवर ग्रास रूट लेवल टूर्नामेंट इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ BGMI। मेरा नाम अंकित पांडे एके एंकी बॉट और मेरे साथ जुड़ेंगे हमारे हीरो द स्पीरो। कैसे हैं आप?
एंकी, मैं एक्साइटेड हूं बट उससे भी ज्यादा मैं खुश हूं। जैसा कि आपने बताया कि रेवोल्यूशन शुरू होने वाला है आज और उस रेवोल्यूशन का हिस्सा बनके मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। 256 टीमें हमारे साथ जुड़ने वाली हैं जो लड़ेगी जंग एक दूसरी तरफ जाने के लिए। ग्राइंड एक रास्ता है जो आपको दूसरी तरफ लेके जाएगा। अब आप पूछोगे कि दूसरी तरफ है क्या? दूसरी तरफ एक टाइटल है जो आपके पास आ सकता है और वो टाइटल है इंडिया की सबसे बेहतरीन टीम होने का।
बिल्कुल, वो सर्वश्रेष्ठ टीम जिस चीज की हम चर्चा करते हैं वो बनने का मौका जरूर से आपके पास रहने वाला है और साथ ही साथ 2 करोड़ रुपए का प्राइस पूल हमें उस पार देखने को मिलेगा। लेकिन अगर उस मंजिल तक पहुंचना है तो इस रास्ते से होकर के आपको गुजरना पड़ेगा एंड इट्स नेवर गोना बी इजी, क्योंकि यहां पर 256 टीम्स हैं जिसमें बहुत बड़े बड़े नाम भी हैं और साथ में वो टीम्स भी हैं जिनका प्रदर्शन हमने हाल फिलहाल में बहुत बेहतर देखा है। तो कंपटीशन तो टफ रहने वाला है।
देखिए, रास्ता अगर आसान होता है ना तो मजा भी नहीं आता, मुश्किल रास्ते को पार करने में भी मजा आता है और ये 256 टीमें जी जान लगा के लड़ने वाली हैं। मैं जानता हूं कि मुश्किलें बहुत ज्यादा हैं बट अगर आपने ग्राइंड करी है पिछले कुछ समय में तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि आपको ज्यादा मुश्किल होनी चाहिए। आप जरूर ये सफर को पार करके आगे जा पाओगे।
स्पीरो यार, एक बार फिस्ट बॉम्ब हो जाए।
Let's go!
टाइम बाद हम वापस से मिल चुके हैं। जी हाँ, ऑफिशियल टूर्नामेंट इट्स बैक। चलेंगे सीधे हम प्राइस पूल की तरफ और देखेंगे कि कितना मैसिव ये प्राइस पूल रहने वाला है, किस प्रकार से जो टीम्स हैं वो लड़ेंगी, भिड़ेंगी, अपना पराक्रम दिखाएंगी। इस पूरे प्राइस पूल के लिए जो रहने वाला है 2 करोड़ रुपए का मैसिव प्राइस पूल। पहले पायदान पे अगर आप आते हैं तो 75 लाख रुपए आप लेके जाएंगे, दूसरे पायदान पे 37.5 लाख रुपए, तीसरे पायदान पे 25 लाख रुपए आपके होंगे और सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं, 16वें पायदान की टीम तक कुछ ना कुछ प्राइस पूल का हिस्सा आपको मिलने वाला है। और साथ ही साथ जिसकी चर्चा चैट में बहुत ज्यादा होती है, कम्युनिटी में बहुत ज्यादा होती है, एंटायर BGIS का MVP उनको मिलने वाले हैं 4 लाख रुपए। द राइजिंग स्टार को 2 लाख, MVP ऑफ द फाइनल्स को मिलेंगे 2 लाख रुपए और जो सबसे बेहतरीन IGL होगा उनको मिलने वाले हैं 2 लाख।
ये सिर्फ इनाम नहीं है कि ये इनाम आपको इंडिया का बेस्ट प्लेयर बनाएंगे, इंडिया का बेस्ट IGL बनाएंगे। दिस इज समथिंग जो हर एक प्लेयर भारत का चाहता है। ई स्पोर्ट्स करियर अगर आपको बनाना है और ये टाइटल अगर आपको मिल गया, आप पूरे भारतवर्ष के सबसे सर्वश्रेष्ठ प्लेयर कहलाएंगे, MVP ऑफ BGIS। अमन, इतने ज्यादा इमोशंस हैं इस टूर्नामेंट के साथ, इतना कुछ यहाँ पे चल रहा है। एक बार नजर डालते हैं।
चलो शुरू करते हैं, कास्टिंग कर लेते हैं। जा भी रहोगे तो भी
बहुत सारे लोगों ने बात करी इस बारे में, बट नजर डाल ही लेते हैं, हम बता देते हैं। फाइनली जस्ट रिवील।
Alright guys, once again after some technical difficulties we are back again into the meta, back again into the game, and we can clearly see Voice was still struggling, and that is the kind of peak consistency that they can come up with, because in the previous matchup as well, if you guys remember, Voice was decided to just go ham but eventually went out way too early with just 1 point. In this matchup they have secured 3 good eliminations and they are at the top 6 exactly. At least 2 position points are something that are going to get credited. But on the hindsight, if we talk about PJ, again a very interesting team with some effective blows as well. Again United, they are also struggling but they might just get some good decent points. Genesis on the other corner is also hiding beyond some drops, and if you have the drops in your favor already, the level 3 West helmets are going to be an added bonus to you along with the guns if you really choose to go with. And I feel like that MG3 night machine gun has already been summoned by Master Ishii, and we can see Jace is actually very low on his HP. One good shot and that could all be it. But on the hindsight, as the zone is suppressing the players, maybe SM9 could be one of those stronger teams which can have the fun, which can have the chicken dinner, because they have got the idea of the zone, they have got the centric POI. Apart from that, there is another team that is BN United. We have PJ as well surviving. We have Bigetron also trying to survive in the game, but Sataras has been taken down. That means the domination of Genesis still survives.
Oh, well, it definitely does. BTR is getting a lot of shots out of them, and look how one player goes down. Boyne is just down with 2 players for themselves, and they need to be very, very careful. B and United, they are looking good with 5 frags that they have out of their name, plus all the 4 surviving players. Now, one can make a difference here. Look at that nade being cooked. If it goes on point and if it gets a good connection out of B and United, the numbers can definitely be faltered down. But one needs to be careful. The position that, Jasib is holding right now is very, very vulnerable. And see, he is getting few shots in return as well. It has to be a very chaotic situation for now, because we just have 6 teams with 15, remaining players. Now, Jace is facing a lot of grenades in return as his location gets compromised. He definitely is holding the best of that position, but still, that is not enough, because any player from behind can just take him down or shoot him down. Sem9 loses one of their player, not completely, but yes, he is down to the ground now. not being completely eliminated, but BTR is looking forward to completely eliminate the sides of Sem9 as well, going in for a patch-up. But as soon as he does that, he finds himself out and he gets shut down there. Boy, I guess it's BTR boy who's trying to, be at a safer side, but at the same time, Geniuses will be going in for some few nades here and there, and that has to be the elimination. Oh no, there has to be the elimination of one, not but two teams. Sem9, BN United, Geniuses and Boyne are the left four surviving teams. BTR gets eliminated, but Jace, you need to be careful, my friend, because it's a very vulnerable spot that you are in. Finds a player right behind, punishes him down, finds one more up right there, couldn't convert him, and that's where Boyne also gets eliminated. BN United, Sem9, Geniuses is at a very vulnerable spot for now. They are finding themselves outside the play zone and they need to make their way inside, and also one of the players is down to the ground. So is the case with BN United. So I guess Sem9 has an upper opportunity onto all this, but the thing is they are outnumbered.
बिल्कुल देखने वाली बात
रहेगी. Definitely the situation is like BN United has got the full manpower. Sem9 on the other corner, same as Genesis Esports has got at max I guess 3 players, and that is something which is again going to create a lot of buzz, a lot of pressure. But it feels like that Sem9 is going to pick up some decent nades to take down West Carry, and if West Carry gets taken down again, a 2v2 formation will be getting carried away. Damages are something which I'm definitely going to count on, and that UMP45 in the hand is going to be a beast in the close quarter. That's what I really believe at this point. But let's see at the end what happens, because we do have a drop coming in from the right angle. There will be some space. Master Skill gets one more player down. That was Master Smile, if I'm not wrong. That skill of a player is just so amazing. But where is Team BN United? Because they're kind of far away from this particular fight. The players are a bit more focused on taking down these two particular teams, but it does feel like that now Master Smile and his teammates are about to get taken down, because we are left with the last man standing. The name is West Carry. Can he carry his team to the glorified second or the first position? It does feel like that it will be a very big challenge for him, to be precise. Again a 1v1 and it's done. Genesis is out of equation. Sem9 survives and they will be fighting back against the team BN United. Again the invited ones are surviving, the qualified ones are struggling. What is happening? But that nade was just too precious to go with. At the back end, United survives. They get a chicken dinner. They are going to get a chicken dinner, and that really makes me say once again that the manpower still lives to the glorified angles. If you have the manpower, you will be able to clutch out this situation. And that's exactly what they did. They waited patiently in the later stages. They let Genesis and the other team Sem9 fight, and eventually whoever survives is going to take up a fight with them, and it will be a 1v4 situation out of it. If you guys remember, Sem9's one good player, the last man standing, was able to take one member from the other team Batnam. That was through a nade, but eventually it didn't pay off, because again from the back end there was a beautiful support system coming in for Team Batnam Esports, and that is why BN United is going to move forward as a second team, and this will again create a large dent in the overall standing, because remember the team which was on the top of the previous leaderboard, the name is DXavier, went out way too quickly with just 3 kills. So that means it was an opportunity, and I believe BN United cashed in on it.
Oh, well, yeah, that is going to be the case for now. But this map of Miramar actually has turned out to be a lot more chaotic than we expected it to be. The end zone had somewhat like 15 players still surviving. I mean, the 6th or the 5th zone had 15 players surviving in such a close compound. It all went down to a last 1v3 that we just witnessed a while ago. But BN United with a total of 19 points for themselves, they will be bragging this chicken dinner for them. Onto the other side, we have Sem9 with 17, Genesis with 12, Voin with 7, 6 is what BTR has, Box with 5, 4 for PJ, EV and DX, STR with 3, so is the case with Y'all, PBE and Aura with 2, 1 for Infinity, but Infamous, MRPX and 21 Infinity with 0 for themselves. Infamous going down with 0, Aura with 2. I mean, all these teams who have given so much in the, quarterfinals, who have proven so much in the quarterfinals, going down at an early stage is something that actually makes me think about all these invited teams in the semi-finals itself. But it's just the start. It's just the second match that we are talking about. It's just the Group A, and it's just the day 1. Day 2 and day 3 will be more and more interesting.
Yeah, definitely. As soon as I guess the gets past, we are going to see a lot of progressive and a very calculative amount of fights coming in. But you realize the way they traveled from the open vicinity, it was just something that backfired onto them. And this is the guy that I was talking about. He did a 1v3 onto the particular team known as U2 Alliance, and at the end, the output was just so favorable for them. And at that point, I guess Stronger XFL also decided to push forward into the particular perspective, and they also lost one good player of their particular team, which was not bound to happen. But eventually, look at the DB shot that is going to connect, and yeah, there you go, another one, but takes the player down who went out way too quickly. And at the end, we had a very beautiful crouch jiggle shot coming in from Stronger XFL, but at the end, yeah, they survived, but not for a later time period, because again, while rotating, they had rotational crashes, and that actually took them apart. PJ on the other corner also tried to be very dominating, but BN United, I mean, they started it off in this particular angle where they took off one of the biggest giant known as PJ, and after that, the BTR got contested from the corner. Play Big Esports also got contested. So yes, multiple teams were taken down by BN United. One Esports, if I talk about them, kudos to their first, because yes, they are struggling, but at the same point, they are trying to be very fruitful in this matchup as well. Look at the spray that came in. In amidst of this kind of pressure, that guy was so successful while taking on the player which was actually on the back ends. But obviously, as I said, having a 1v4 situation in your favor is something that can't be done in the later stages of the zone if you don't have the right covers, and that's exactly what was missing for One Esports. And at the end, this nade was just so on point. Look at that, he took the player down, tried to open up his scope, but at the same point, the sprays were so precise from the other team. And there you go, BN United exactly the similar amount of points to what the other team has got, known as D Xavier, and all the teams which have got the Garena, to be precise, there are just two. BN United and D Xavier has secured the first and second position respectively. Semnan on the other corner 17, Megatron's Red Villains, despite of the fact that they are struggling, they are still having 15 amazing points, which is again very good. Or Esports with 15 as well. Morph GFX this time just 13 points. And remember guys, in the previous matchup they had somewhere around 13 points. In this match they had 13 points. That means not even a single point for Morph GFX, and yeah, they are struggling to be consistent.
Well, they definitely are. On the second page, if I talk about, we have Voodoo Alliance with 10, Wine with 8, Box Gaming with 7, Infamous with 6, Stronger XFL with 3, Playbook Esports with 2, Team Infinity with 1, and Infinity IQ with 0 onto their name. 2 matches are done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen, and all these teams, if they haven't made their way up to at least 5 or 6 points, I feel it is going to be a sign of danger. But Levis comes up on the top as the hashtag 1 with 8 eliminations. We have Cleon on the second position with 7. We have one from Sem 9. That's going to be Rill with 5, Genforce with 5, and Snappy with 4. These are the top 5 fraggers that we have in the semi-finals itself. But to remember, in the grand finals, we are going to have a lot of switches made when it comes down to the overall standing, when it comes down to the match rankings, and also when it comes down to the MVP of this series.
Definitely we'll get to see some new faces, that's for sure, because again, for now Infinity is unable to perform 21 and 50. They were also going out way too quickly. So I believe at the later stages of the tournament we will see some amazing changes in the exchange, or Infinity is going to perform. Players like here are one of those players who are known to give a very harsh comeback in the lobby. PJ, if I talk about them, they are struggling, and if I talk about One Esports, despite of their effects, they are struggling a lot. But after a quick short break, we'll talk about the match number 3 of the semi-finale for now, and that will be in the map of triangles. So let's take a quick short break so that we can analyze on the back end as well that what might happen in the next match.
जैसा कि मेजी हमेशा ब्लेम गेम खेलते हैं वो करने लगते हैं आप लोग, वो ना करें तो बेहतर है, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है अगर आपको एक बार आपके पास अभी बचती है से जो यहाँ पे क्या है कि आप जरूर से चैट पे
हमने गॉड्स रेन की बात आपको अपना दिमाग भी बहुत ज्यादा चलाना है, क्योंकि ऑन द स्पॉट आपको स्ट्रैटेजीज में बदलाव लाने पड़ेंगे। इनवाइटेड टीम्स की दूसरे शुरुआत करेंगे हम।
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are so happy to welcome you guys back with our upcoming match of Erangel. Yeah, Erangel and Miramar. One set is already done and dusted, and now we are looking forward to the second set of Erangel and Miramar. After which we will be heading towards the map of Senok. But as we always promise you that we'll be back after a quick short break, we always do come up with that. A quick short break is all that we need, and we are right back again with that same energy to, you know, actually witness the map of Erangel. But again, coming down to Erangel, it's going to be amazing. What is your call on that?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, let's have a look at the flight path in order to see how the fights will unfold. It is starting from the northern flanks. It is starting from 70, and between the Salber region, the flight path comes in. The Yasna Pulan is in the picture. We have Rozok, we have School Aparts and School Main Building, along with that Puchinki Farm, Shelter, Prison, Mansion. Multiple areas are like that are actually in a close by vicinity. So definitely, I believe at that point the clash will be there over there. But eventually, one of my favorite places to jump in is going to be the Sosnovka military base, and definitely it is in the future. So I would love to see which particular team is going to go over there. But Nova Ripnoi, again, we did saw in the first match some kind of a clash coming up over there. We did saw two other teams jumping in that vicinity. So in this matchup, again, things like that can actually happen. But we have Infamous jumping towards the Milta region. They will be definitely going to go towards Milta or maybe Milta Power if the situation demands. On the hindsight, we were talking about Voin. Their favorable location is very clear, but in order to reach out to that place, they had to glide a lot or maybe get some good vehicles. And at that point, the clash is going to be something which is again going to be there. BN United trying to go for the Nova Ripnoi region. We have a mock GPay which is going to go for the military base. And also, if I talk about Infinity, well, they are also jumping in a very safe spot. I don't know what is happening, but it feels like that Infinity's player is actually going to jump at the very end of the particular play zone, or should I say flight path to be precise. But when it comes to the play zone, mansion, shelter and these areas between prison is going to be the heart of this particular cycle, and it does feel like that again eastern flank is going to come in, which can actually come down to areas like shelter or prison in the later stages. But yes, in the Yasna Polyana, we do have a very big amazing clash coming in between PJ, between Stronger XFL, and along with that we do have another set of amazing teams trying to fight back at that point. So I would love to see what kind of a result is going to get implicated over there. But BN United, after securing that 19 points of a bomber as a second in a team in the second match of this semi-finale, I believe they are here to put up a consistent streak in their formation, and if that does not happen, again, some new team is going to be thrown them.
Definitely, Yasna Polyana is the reason is the region that I am looking forward to right now. I mean, the amount of fights that we are going to witness there, and who is the one who is going to make it till the last, who is the one who is going to survive till the last is still a question. STR, XFL, Stronger FL is what the team is right now. All the 4 players surviving, trying to have their hands on everything that they get. So is the case with PJEV. We also have them in the nearby compounds. It's not just about both of these teams, but there's a third team also which comes into the play. So these teams, they need to be very careful. And if I'm not wrong, that's the sides of Team Box Gaming. Oh, so Box Gaming, here's the thing. Box Gaming has a drop clash in Miramar as well as Erangel. Both of these maps, they definitely have some initial fights happening, initial drop clashes happening, which is going to be very difficult. But PJEV, the way they've been moving further, the way they've been trying to go in further, it is going to get them into a very difficult situation. BN United, they've started off the fights as well. STR is looking forward to have one with PJEV, but who is going to come up on the top? On the other side, BN United, I guess they started off things by putting one player down. Not sure who that player was, but again, yeah, first Bloodlock, that's the player from BN United. PJEV, one player goes down. That has to be Stronger XFL starting things off to take one player down. But Zaxi and his position is something that just might put STR into a lot of difficulties. But here's the thing now, that Zaxi has went in for some sprays. His location also gets compromised out there. Red face also gets compromised. All of the locations are up here with the sides of STR, BN and PEP having a complete different fight on the other sides. PJEV has lost one of their players. The other one is down to the ground. That directly means 2 casualties and 2 surviving players, Raider.
Well, yeah, indeed, the survival are looking good, but eventually at the end, if I talk about BGIS, once again, they're losing 2 good, amazing players of the particular team. And at the other corner, we have Nova Ripnoi fights coming in, and we can see Playboy is struggling out of it. And PN United, the team which secured the previous chicken dinner, is again trying to make a momentum, is again trying to break I guess, synergy coming in between the other team known as Playboy Esports. ES2R has been taken down. If I talk about Monboy, he's struggling. If I talk about Draymond, he's again picking up a very beautiful lead. Let's see if it impacts or not. But we do have a very good idea of where the sprays are going to come in from. He's going to take one down. He's going to completely finish him off, and that is going to be a complete game changer fight coming in this particular scenario. Redface also retaliates. Oh, that nade! What a beautiful answer to the nades coming in from Playboy Esports is that. Like Porsche, once again, another nade is going to get cooked up, but the player has an idea. So look at him. He's standing on the tower. He's actually prone down on the tower to be precise, but from the towers he can provide a very beautiful flank angle, and also he can provide all the information that is required, because obviously now Monboy can't actually move, because he moves, he's going to get spotted from the tower, and if he actually is going to stay here, he's going to get taken down just like that. And look at him. So despite of the fact that he was 203 meters away from this particular actual fight, but he still gets a frag. That's a good moment for him on the high thing that we really wanted to go with. Stronger XFL, after getting one player as a knockout, they were able to just bring him back. The name is Refuse FL, who is still back in the fight. PJF, yes, they're struggling, but at the same point, they are being very, I guess,
बेहतर कितना
shaky.
ज्यादा आगे वो जा
But
पाएंगे आप
if I talk
सर्कल को
about
देखिए
the whole formation of the
almost
rotations,
सारी
I
ही
guess
हमें
stronger
सर्कल के अंदर
SFL
देखने को
is
मिल
one
रही
of those
है
teams who
अपनी
knows
स्क्वाड देखने को
that if
मिल
a fight
जाएगी
is just
तो
getting
ज्यादा
prolonged a
देर
lot,
तक
we should
वहाँ
rotate,
पर
we
नहीं
should
देंगे
rotate to a safer
अर्ली
haven where the
रोटेशन
fights
देखने
might
को मिल
be
सकती है
coming up, and we
मगर
can set up a
वो
defensive
डेप्लॉय
perimeter,
का
and that's
एरिया
why that is
उसको तो
particular
आपको
team
पार करके
who is
आना
still
ही
there in
पड़ेगा
the
और ऐसे में
let's say
शायद
13th
वो जो
position. That is why
वेस्टर्न
the
ब्रिज
kills
रहता
are
है
not
वहां
that
पर
much.
भी
So I would
कुछ
love to see
फाइट
how
हमें
their kills
देखने
are
को मिल
going to
सकती है
increase. But on
और
the
ये
hindsight, if
गेम
we talk
हम
about
वहां
Team
देखने को मिल गई
Infinity,
अभी के लिए
as I said, BR11 is one of those
सेंट्रल
players
जो
who can
एरियाज है
actually
आप
table
पोचिंग
turn,
देखिए
who
बिल्कुल
can
खाली
actually make
एक
the
बहुत
teams
ही ज्यादा
very
हाई
well built.
डेंसिटी लूट का
And I
एरिया
believe
रहता
I'm
है
definitely going to
मैं
look
जब
after
भी
that.
क्लासिक
But Box
खेलता हूँ
Gaming,
तो ऑल
let's
माइक
see what
बोलता
they're going to
जरूर
do.
हूँ दम
Ponji,
है तो
we
आजा
have got
पोचिंग
players like
क्योंकि
Kosu, we have
यहाँ
players
पर
like Namcute,
कोई
and
भी
both
टीम
of
कोई भी
them
खिलाड़ी पोचिंग को
triple
गया नहीं है और मेरे को लगता है
take
कि एक
was
बहुत
something
बड़ा
that I was
रिसोर्सफुल
expecting from
एरिया
their
है अभी
particular
के लिए
perspective from the
तो
last two
बिल्कुल
matches,
ऐसी
but eventually it is
यार आप
not
कहते
coming
हैं
in. So
मुझे
I
कि
believe
ज्यादा
maybe in
मत
this
कीजिएगा
particular
मैं आपके
match,
साथ खेला हूं 2 3
there
बार
is going
ऐसा
to be
नहीं
a very
करना है
tough
कि अगर आप किसी को
retaliation
बुला
from
रहे हैं
Team Box
पोचिंग के
Gaming
लिए तो
as well.
प्लीज जाए
Sem9 also coming
यहाँ
very
पे मुझे
close to a
लगता है कि
chicken dinner,
एक
but eventually getting
बहुत
taken
ही
down in the
रिस्की
previous
एरिया बन
matchup
जाता है पोचिंग
was something that
अगर
they were
रात में
not
उनका दिल
expecting,
है
and
तो
also
सेकंड
Voin is
से
also in
देखने
a
को
close
मिलता
by
है हर बार
vicinity, so we
मैंने तो
might see some
हालांकि
fights.
दूसरा जोन भी
But for
पोचिंग का
now, as we were
आसपास ही
expecting, the
बनता है
Erangel map is
सो इट्स
just going to
रियली
be filled with
इंपॉर्टेंट
a
टू
lot
नो
of
कि
passive
आप
plays
अपने
initially,
ओपोनेंट्स को
and in
समझें
the later
रैंक
stages we
दोबारा
will
तो
see some
खेलने का
fights as
मौका
well.
इनको मिलेगा नहीं अभी यहाँ पे
It's just the
इस ग्रुप
stage
के
one,
साथ
right? It's still the
पहला
stage
ये
one,
रैंगल
and
और
the
आखिरी
players are
रैंगल
just
है इसके
preparing
बाद मेरा मार्ड और
themselves
सैनोप देखने को
for
मिलेगा तो
something
मैं
bigger
थोड़ा
and
सा हैरान था
something
इन्होंने
better.
पोजीशन
Right
खा
now,
लिया बट
if they
आई थिंक
indulge
टीम उन्हें
themselves
सेफ
into
ड्रॉप्स
fight,
ज्यादा चुने
they
आप
know
सिविल नहीं
that
देखिए वहां पे
they
टीम
will
साकी की
firstly
तरफ
go
टीम
down
गई थी
early,
थोड़ा
and
सा
even
सेफ
if they
खेलना
take
इज नॉट
down
अ बैड
player, that's going to be
स्ट्रेटजी
a loss,
और
a lot
अगर
of
आप लूट के बारे में बात
problems
करें
that they face
जेके
in the
इन्होंने शुरुआत
upcoming
में फाइट
scenarios.
करके
So
मैंने एक्शन
it's
लिया वो
pretty
भी
obvious
डिप्लीट
that they
करके
need to
कोई भी
be
फाइट
careful for
इतना
a period
ज्यादा
of time
कमिट नहीं
on
कर
range of bullets all
यहाँ
around,
पर
but I don't think they are
गन्स
actually gonna
ऑलरेडी
find
बढ़िया देखने को
any
मिल रहे हैं
one from
वेपन्स
them
अच्छे
as
हैं
well. Wood Alliance,
लूट
they
भी काफी
prefer
ज्यादा
staying a
बेहतर
bit
अगर
safer
आप
at this point of time, and
ओवरऑल देखें तो मगर
just trying
रास्ता
to
थोड़ा कठिन है
be a
देखना ये
bit
भी कि
away,
क्या
as
वो
play
ईस्टर्न
zone is
ब्रिज लेकर
something
के
which has
सर्कल के
been
अंदर जाने की कोशिश
prioritized
करते हैं
on the
बोला
sides
अभी
of
की टीम्स
Sem9
अभी के लिए
and
कोई
puts
भी
them
खतरा
down
मोल लेने को
initially.
तैयार है नहीं
Dam was
मगर
going in
एक
for a
फाइट
revival,
देखने
but
को
his
मिल सकती है
vacation
बहुत क्रेज
also
के
gets
मौके
compromised, so
और
reviving
क्या
his
खिलाड़ी
teammate
को
is
करिए
going to be
आखिरी में वो
very,
एक बुलेट का
very
कनेक्शन आया
difficult.
27
Now
एचपी का
BTR has
डैमेज
already
मगर
decided to close
जो
in, and
करो जी
that's going to
ज्यादा
be a
मुश्किल
big
उनको
problem for
होगी
the
नहीं
sides
काफी
of
आसानी से वो
Sem9
अपने आप को
players.
हील
One more
कर सकते
player
हैं
is
लेकिन
down to the
गॉड्स
ground now.
वेन
It's all
अपने
down to the
उसी
two
अवतार में
surviving
देखने को मिल
players.
रहे
There
हैं
goes a
स्पिरो वो
grenade
बिल्कुल भी नहीं रुक रहे
from
वो बिल्कुल भी ऐसा
Lapar,
नहीं है कि प्रेशर
but
लेकर के
will
खेल रहे
that
हैं
find a connection
उनका
is still
जो पूरी
the
स्ट्रैटेजी
question.
है वो
Boy is
बिल्कुल
as well
साफ कि
prepared
हम
there,
आए
and Boy
हम
goes in for
घुसेंगे
a
और
grenade,
हम मारेंगे
finds one on a Sem9, and that is gonna put him down. He gets the tag of grenade here, but Sem9, do they get completely eliminated? Udo Alliance is also getting tagged from D Xavier, if I'm not wrong. Sem9, it's still just one last player who is yet surviving. Udo Alliance on the other side, one player is down to the ground. Sem9 gets completely eliminated. They are not even gonna bear one single player. They are just gonna take him out and eliminate him completely. But that's not the end of the fight. We have one between Udo Alliance and D Xavier happening onto the other sides, and look how close the players already are. None of them have lost any one of them, so it has to be a proper 4v4 fight that comes into play. But again, here's the thing, any one team finding the opening will be going in for a close in as well.
Yeah, definitely. If they get the opening, they can easily maintain that pressure and eventually just push forward and get this whole squad down and dusted. But as we can see in the mini map, or should I say, in the whole picture of the particular map, that BTR is pretty close to Udo Alliance, and they are pretty close to Team D Xavier as well. So all the three teams which are trying to struggle at this point, maybe it is going to invite some more teams into the particular picture, because we can see Aura Esports rotating back from Potato Hill, and it's not that far away from the vicinity where the fights are already going on. At the same point, if I talk about Voin and Team Infinity, they're also trying to be in a tussle. If I talk about Mox GPX, we will see a fight between them and BN United as well pretty soon, because both of those teams are trying to rotate back to the main front area, that is going to be the Selva region, and in order to be here, they have to cross a bridge, and that will be the no replay bridge, which is again going to be filled with a clash between those two guys. But I would love to see at the end what kind of a picture is going to get unfolded, because the Xavier, look at them, they're slamming in the same exact compound where Team BTR is already holding up to. BTR, maybe they're also falling back at the same point, and yes, that's exactly what is happening. They're completely going to bail away from the scene, because they do know that there is going to be a clash-like situation coming in. BN United, again, Max Elvi is one of those players who has been taken down. The team which secured the chicken dinner, the team which secured the 4 amazing facts for now by after taking the playbook esports. Actually, those amazing points are something which again can create a lot of pressure on teams like BN United. But let's see at the end what will happen over there as well. As we can see, BN United is in the tussle. They have got 4 amazing finishes. Yes, one good player is actually over there on the towers, but he will be moving forward very soon. But what has happened to 21 and FT? Again, that particular team goes out of of the equation at 14th position. Nothing fruitful for them. come in. Clapper has been taken down, coming from Bigotron's Red Villain. Again, and not a very good side to watch out with. But Mox Neon, he's not going to leave behind the knockout that was there. He's going to completely finish him off so that they have the upper hand in this particular fight. But Tabbar, is he still going to get the revival? I do feel like that yes, the revival is going to come in because his teammate is pretty close to him. And once the revival is done and dusted, maybe Ludo Lance is going to fight back against them, or it could be maybe Infamous Esports also, which is in a very close gap. And Infamous Esports, if they try to wreak havoc onto the particular team which is already there, so I guess if that happens, maybe Bigatron will have a very good chance to come up with a third party and eliminate the DXavier, which is at the second position for now in the leaderboard. But I'm happy to see like BN United performing the way they are performing for now. They've already got some decent flags in their favor. Udolance, Flex is about to get taken on. Just one more bullet. That could be it. One more bullet, but the gun goes on reload. And he fails to connect that last bullet that was really needed, that was really essential. But those smokes are coming in. That means he do know that if the player chooses the buggy to rotate with, he's going to take him down. And that's why the back tire has been busted, so that obviously the rotations are something which is going to be very, very difficult for Udolance. But maybe through these smokes, his teammate is going to come and he's going to pick him up. And that's exactly what is happening for now.
Oh, well, yes, definitely that is going to be the case. But now Aura onto the other sides, they have all of their 4 players surviving. And they do hear a lot of vehicle sounds around. That is the sides of Team Point. For now, look at that. Snappy is just waiting for that right opportunity. He doesn't want to strike in right now because he knows that if he does that, it's going to be the entire team into a lot of problems. Plus, they aren't sure of how many players are there around. Or, I mean, Snappy is just going in for scouting those players out there, and you see there's one player, the vehicle is being spotted, and oh! That was a very precise connection. Maxi is not the best of the decision of roaming out here. Gets punished from the sides of Snappy, shuts him down. And look how precise Snappy is. He finds one player, he shuts him down. I mean, he puts him down first, he deletes him, and he goes back towards his teammate. That was such a great play made. Genius is coming back to them again. I feel all of the 2 players are now surviving. They're looking forward to have a proper location for themselves inside the play zone. And oh no, Mansion, Shelter, Milta, Prison. Now, the entire one side of this play zone, that's going to be Mansion, Shelter and Milta is up with so many teams. And look at the side of Prison. It is completely open. So, the teams that are rotating, I feel is that's STR, if I'm not wrong, that's rotating towards the side of Prison and going towards that area will be at a safer side for now because they have ample amount of space to actually go and sit down. But the team was still making it wait from the sides of Yasnaya Polyana towards the play zone. Man, you guys are very, very late because look how chaotic the play zone already is. Look how so many players have already made their way inside the play zone. DXavier has the best of that position, but just for now, because here's the thing, DXavier, if they come out from the right side, they have players. If they come out from the left side, they still have players. STR trying to push it, trying to pressurize the players, finds one, but that's all about it, and are not able to convert any more onto the safer side. But STR making their way inside the play zone is going to put a lot of pressure on Wendy as well. Look at how many shots he's connected onto himself. He's finding himself low. He needs to patch himself up, but so is the case with Box. They are trying to rotate and they are getting shot down at the same time.
Yeah, there was a possibility for a moment where the Box's Namcute has been taken down, but eventually got a more stronger XFL. Look at that. One good shot. That's all we need at this point. And those 2014 tap shots are something which is actually working out way too fluently. Refuse actually has been taken down. That means stronger XFL are not at a very good spot. And this is an opportunity where Team Box can either find a very good safe haven in this particular circle or maybe just push forward and get those eliminations and snatch the position that stronger XFL has got. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They have spotted the players which are falling back are right in front of them. So let's see how the whole situation gets carried away because these 13 teams, 46 players are off to a very good competition, to be honest. But Gosu, he finds the elimination of that player who was kind of seeking the revival, and that was the first ever elimination for Team Box Gaming in this particular matchup of Irangle. Remember guys, this is the last match of Irangle for the day. After that you will get to see only a Miramar, and then the trump card sign-off will be coming in. Popeye, that means Aura Esports is also receiving some good damn shots onto their faces. But PJ, let's see what they can do because this is a 2v2 type of situation coming in where Genesis is just going to completely bail out from the stands. I was not expecting this, that Genesis is going to bail out, but when you have an information that their teammates are already having a very good safe haven in the circle, then you can easily immediately rotate back. It's very good. It's always better to just rotate back in the circle rather than take up a fight outside the circle, because then again guys, PUBG is a beautiful game which is more and more dependent on the survival based scenario. So again, it's a survival based gameplay. You have to survive, and in order to survive, yes, you might have to take down some good players, but when it comes to the survival and the leaderboard, you have to do both. You have to survive till the top positions, you have to get the kills as well, so that we can have the larger share of the leaderboard points in your favor, as we saw Stronger doing that in the yesterday's matches. So I would love to see how all of those things are going to get unfolded in this particular matchup, because again, Stronger is still surviving. They're still living up to the charm. They've got the 3-man power. I still have hopes that this team is going to build some beautiful synergy and have some beautiful fights, but at the same point, we should not neglect the fact that this day is not the quarter finale, and the teams that are being here are not the quarterfinals one. We have some invited names, we have some amazing qualified names, and that is obviously going to add up a notch of the competition, and that's why I guess Stronger XFL is still struggling. They just have 5 points, that's all, and that's exactly what they had in the quarter finale. Initially they had 5, 6 amazing 7 points, but late in the later stages, in the last few days, the way they performed was so amazing. But Red Face, yes, he gets taken down. Not just that, Box Gaming is going to rip apart the last player as well. That's Zaxi, and with that, PJV has been taken down. I don't know, man. The qualifications of that team is just looking bleaker and bleaker, but should not, I guess, lose the hopes, because at this point, somewhere else 12 more matches are left.
Well, yes, 12 more matches are left for qualification from here on, but on besides this mark, they are making their way inside the play zone. BTR, they find themselves with one player down, and there has to be the sides of Aura who are investing themselves into this fight. Aura, if they make it alive out of this fight, it has to be a really good one for them, as they are finding the big giants out here. That's going to be BTR. One player is completely eliminated with 3 finishes on the side of BTR. Do have to work around with, I guess coming into this zone with this 3 alive players is a very bad deal. And now Udo Alliance, oh, that DBS, he finds one, he just not shuts him down but completely eliminates him more. It's not the best of the decision for one player to go such a further approach. I mean, look at that, he just went so close to that player that he shut him down with that DBS and he completely eliminated him. Udo Alliance, Flax is definitely done and dusted for this map of Irangle, but we'll be soon seeing him in the map of Miramar that is coming our way in the upcoming stages. But STR onto the other side, they are getting shot down here. They are getting few shots onto that buggy as well. The vehicle might just go down, but no, for now it's definitely at a safer side. Box Gaming have called off this fight, and so is the case with STR. So both of these teams, they need to make sure to get alive into the play zone ASAP. But Infamous comes out of the play in this entire fight, finishes the sides of STR. It all started with STR having a fight with Box Gaming and Infamous going in for a third party. Now what is gonna STR do from here on? Because first things first, they've been caught off guard. Second things, they are outside the play zone. Third things, healings is not that too much, but that one player, he goes down due to play zone. Why would you do that? But so is the case with the players of STR. What is going on? You do have the play, you do have the health kit, you do have those bandages, but still you're going down to the play zone. Morph going down due to vehicle explosion. 3 knocks in 3 different ways. Wine going in for some good grenades onto the sides of Udo, shutting them down completely. Raider, I did not expect this to happen. I mean, I don't think anyone did.
Yeah, nobody did. Actually, nobody did, because yes, you can see the kill feed and you won't be able to read the name, to be honest, because every second there is a player who is falling either to his knees or a complete wipeout. And here you go, one more team gets taken down. That's Mox GPX who has been eliminated. The team who secured 9 good eliminations, 10 good eliminations in the previous map of Irangle. But in this match, all they had was just some decent amounts of frags. That's all we can say at this point. Stronger XFL on the other corner is still somewhere there with 5 points, that's all, and they have been eliminated. So again, not a very good situation for them. Infinity is trying to fight out. Infinity has got the full 4-man power. This could be the match where Infinity can have a chicken dinner, and I'm definitely looking forward to counter that. But let's see what happens. Okay, Infinity does have just 3 players. But okay, in the live feed, I guess those things have not been covered up. Infamous, if I talk about them, Voin Esports, they are struggling. Infamous is getting the upper hand out of it, and there you go. Ranked finds 1 more elimination for the team, and in total, they have got 3 good eliminations. They are in the top 9. They have to be in at least top 3 positions if they can. If they are definitely looking forward to have a very good chunk of this particular POI. But 7 Bulls, they will, to be precise, has got the here before takes one down. That was a very good peek in fire. But is it enough? I don't feel like that it's going to be enough. But has got the monster trucks and stuff like that. He's going to just completely in it ended. But at the same point, he's going to get spotted. I feel like that. And yes, he gets spotted because he sprays down the player. And with that open top UAs, once again a rotations is coming in. But I don't know, will this play be fruitful? I feel like that not at all, because they have to travel for a very long distance. Okay, that's fun. Now the player is sitting in the vehicle. That's kind of something unique to do. And he's going to carry him away in the circle in a very beautiful dip where he can revive his teammate. What a beautiful strategy that was, my mate. But yes, now he's going to bring him back to the glorified fights. He's going to bring him back in the top 3 situations as well. DXavier also is about to get taken down because Lamborghini has been slayed and the other players are also struggling. 3 good players of that particular team are surviving. And Levi's is trying to fight back. Boxers, Gosu has been taken down. Genesis is trying to retaliate. But look at that. Some more space are going to be there. But still, DXavier having the hard cover is the best asset that they could have at this point. But damn cute. You have to remember, you are in the 5th zone, you're trying to rotate, but you won't be able to, because remember, in the circle we have Bigatron, but it is done by DXavier as well. And yeah, another big elimination comes in. We are left with just 6 teams and 18 good players are still surviving. Another spray goes in and another one falls.
Oh, so many players faltering here and down. Now that we are left with DXavier, BTR, Aura, Geniuses, and Famous and Infinity, I am very keen to know that who comes up on the top. Big monsters, big name, big giants all around. But who comes up on the top is still the question. 5 teams and 15 alive players. But Aura finds one on Infinity, and I feel it's done for Infinity as well. Aura snapping. He needs to make his way inside the play zone. He is outside and is being shot down so much by the other players out there. They are being completely compressed from all these sides. You look left, right, everywhere you'll see them being summed up with enemies all around. They need to be very, very careful. They've already been, no, they aren't outnumbered yet, but Infinity is definitely outnumbered. 2 players are down to the ground and they are still trying to patch themselves up. But with the positioning that the player Shorty is holding, it can be a real help for the players of Infinity, because if Aura tries to push in or go in, I guess Shorty is the one who will be able to shut him down for the angle that this man has been holding. So Aura, not being greedy this time, will find Snape in the vehicle itself and trying to rotate, but it's better to stick with those teammates out there rather than going in for solo plays right now, because that might just be very, very risky. 4 teams and 14 alive players, ladies and gentlemen, and we have no idea on who is going to come up on the top. Aura is definitely looking good, but with that, one player goes down from Aura and gets completely, no, it isn't completely yet eliminated, so they do have the chance of revival for themselves, but will they be able to do that is still a big question. Infinity have patched all the players up and now are looking back to rotate out of that position. I'll give all those credits to Shorty, because the way that player was holding that position, it was just looking so good. Aura Esports again trying to rotate, trying to go in for a good positioning, but will they be able to find one raider?
I do feel like that the struggle is going to be just maximized, because again, players like Aura's like hands for you is just so amazing. He has done multiple 1v4s in the quarterfinale. Now yeah, I do remember the fact that this is the semi-finals and obviously the competition is something unreal, but I guess we can expect at least a 1v2 from his corner. But before that happens, Snape has been taken down, and there you go, hands for you pops out, takes down Beer, he's going to finish him off. Again a 1v2 could be coming in, but before that happens, himself on the back end. I was not expecting that. A beautiful DB shot will be getting connected, but we have DO3 still surviving, and he also gets taken down. No idea whatsoever. But what was that? Oh my god, Infinity has been taken down. A beautiful third party by BTR, I believe. That was there, but DXavier, they are still surviving. BTR has got an idea how they can take down the players, but yes, it's going to be a very big challenge. Oh, has been taken down, but BTR is also struggling. This is an opportunity for a comeback coming from DXavier, because remember guys, 17 good points from that particular team, and that was the irony. To be precise guys, the fact is, in the first match of Triangle, again, these were the last 2 teams surviving. BTR was the one which was taken down, and exactly that is what is looking forward to happen by the same team who took them apart in the first match of Triangle. It is so amazing to see a play like that. 2v3, 2v4 type of situation, 2v3 to be precise, that we are looking up to. And Bigatron, yes, they are struggling because they don't have any kind of angle to exploit with. Multiple nades, multiple smokes, all the utils are getting just dumped over there. You can clearly see how the nades are faltering down. But that DB shot could connect, and yes, indeed it does. It's a 1v2 situation, and he's going to finish him off. And now it is going to be a 2v2, but before that happens, another DB shot gets connected, and it's done, mate. DXavier secures another beautiful chicken winner coming into the game, and I believe that they are going to have at least 41 points in the overall standings, because send for the chicken, obviously, and eventually for the info elimination. That was just so amazing. What an amazing play! What amazing play from the corner. Like, I was expecting a lot of amazing fights coming in from Aura's perspective, but all of a sudden Aura was stuck in a very beautiful third party, and Bigatron took the advantage out of it. But at the end, we have to remember the fact that Bigatron is again going to get slayed by the team known as the Xavier. That's exactly what happened in the previous angle, if you guys remember. Again, the elevation factor came into the play, and the irony is, Darshita, that once again the elevation factor was there because Bigatron was stuck in the shelter, which was again in the lower areas, and they had to come up. They have to come out of that particular region. Exactly what Bigatron faced in the previous matchup as well. And if I talk about the Xavier, they had the clear perspective of having just one opening in that particular shelter, and they had to just shoot on the place over there, and that's exactly what they did. They were so fruitful out of it.
हैट्स ऑफ यार, आप देखो कि प्रेशर कितना ज्यादा था, एंड स्पेशली सवितार जिस प्रकार से वो चमके हैं,
enjoyed the way the competition went out. But moving forward, let's talk about the whole situation. Like I guess we are going to pretty soon see the overall standing as well, which is again going to give us a beautiful idea of how it all started and how the competition is just going to get escalated. Because the fact is, again, I was impressed to see the way DXavier performed, but kudos to the way Bigatron also survived in the game. All around the other corner was again trying to be very, very consistent when it comes to their plays, but we do know that it's just not easy to just make the tables turn, have the advantage in your favor, and that's exactly what shivered down the spines of that particular team known as Aura Esports. And Aura Esports was taken down by Bigatron. If I talk about them, yes, they tried to struggle, they tried to gain some good, amazing points into their favor, but at the end, it was indeed the team DXavier who took the upper hand in their favor. So with that, yes, the game is done and dusted, and eventually the second chicken dinner in the same map is by DXavier. What a play from their corner.
Oh well, yeah, definitely. I mean, you would have seen me thinking so much about what exactly happened in the entire match, right? You just have had seen me so much into thinking. But DXavier, yes, with a total of 20 for themselves, they have it here. With a total of 14, it's BTR, Aura, and Infinity with 11. Infamous with 9, BN with 5, Box and Boyne with 4 for themselves. Genius is with 3, Udo Alliance with 2, STR with 2, Morph and PBE with 1. It's PJ, EV, 21, Infinity once again, and Sem9 with just 0. I mean, I did not actually expect these teams to go down onto 0, but still, it is what it is, and that's how the entire map panned out to be. The map of Miramar is something that I'm still waited on to, but again, coming back to this overall standing, I'm really excited to see on what total points DXavier is for now.
I feel like that the Xavier is going to have at least 41 points. That's what my calculations are, but maybe I'm wrong. But eventually, if I talk about BTR, 14 amazing points from the corner, Aura with 11, as you said, Infinity with 11 points as well. But if I talk about the teams which are least fruitful, that was Sem9 to Infinity, 21 NFT, I believe. And eventually, if I talk about PJ, yes, that is again another set of amazing team which was just going out way too early. Let's talk about that fight between Sem9 and Bigatron. Like, it all started in the areas beyond the Milta and Shelter, and eventually the fight was just so chaotic that we did saw Bigatron also falling short of breath, and Sem9 as a whole was taken down. But that racing, that's why I say, like, even in Wrangle, even in Sanhok, if you are in a vehicle, just don't be comfortable, because somebody is there who's going to just pinpoint precise you out of the equation, and that's exactly what happened to Morph as well. Like, they were trying to rotate through the vehicle, and every now and then, whenever Morph comes up with a vehicle, they were getting picked off one by one, and that's why I believe Morph's GPay was unable to survive in this particular matchup for a long period of time. And on the hindsight, we did saw Voin also coming up with a 1v1, but after that he gets taken down. But the play that Aura was coming up with was so amazing. But Infinity, all of a sudden they had the highest manpower, and all of a sudden they just fall down between Aura and also the other team known as Bigatron. So a beautiful third party came in, and you can really see how Bigatron took the advantage from the back end. But at the end, while also was taken down, so Bigatron not just backstabbed one team, but another team was also taken down from their perspective. And this GPay shot was just so fluent. And the irony is, again, those two teams fought against each other, which had the previous experience of a fight in the angle. So DXavier exactly at 21 points. Bigatron Red Villains, despite of the fact that they don't have any single chicken dinner. But I'm happy to see they are trying to be consistent. On an average, 9 to 10 points in every single match. That's what we really need. Talking about the new point distribution system, that's exactly what you should do. If you play 5 matches, have 50 points in your favor, and then you will be in the top 3 positions at least. And that's what really matters for now, because we are in the semi-finals. It's all about the qualifications. You have to be in the top 14. And on the hindsight, when you talk about the grand finals, which will start after, let's say, 2 or 3 days later, at that point, maybe the teams are going to focus more on the first position, but for now it's all about the top 14 positions, and that's where stronger XFL is still making their way.
They definitely are on 5 points for now, but I feel they'll make that comeback very soon. Box Gaming with 11, and so is the case with Persija Evos. Voodoo Alliance with 12, so is the case with Void Team. Infinity as well. Infinity IQ down with 0 is something I actually don't expect. I mean, come on, it's been 3 matches already, right? And Infinity IQ, they've been going off so early. Playbook Esports 3, Stronger XFL with 5. I mean, these teams, they need to step up right now, because if they don't, it is going to be very, very difficult for them. Talking about the top fraggers for now, Levis again on the hashtag 1 with 12 elimination. We have a player from BT, that's Jen first with 8 under his name. We have Cleon with 7, Snappy with 6, and Rill from Sem 9 out of 5 eliminations. 5, 6, 7, 8, that's completely fine, but Levis is sitting up there with 4 extra fags, and that is to be total of 12 for him. So I feel DX Xavier, the way they've been actually playing, it is looking good for them, Leader.
Yeah, definitely. The Xavier is trying to be consistent, and they do know that they have a very good clear insight of fighting back in Erangel. So they're just trying to be fruitful in that particular map. If you fight back in Erangel, if you get 2 chicken nuts in Erangel's map, and after that, if you try to be just consistent, like maybe get 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 points in your favor in the rest remaining Miramar and also in Sanok, I believe you are one of those teams which is for sure going to be on top. And at this point, as I've emphasized enough time, that this is one of those situations where you just have to qualify. Yes, being on top is obviously going to create a mental pressure on other teams when we go to the grand finals, but yeah, being in the top 14 is the main goal, and we'll see which all other the other teams which are going to be in the top 14 after the 4th match gets over. But in order to see that, we'll take a quick short break. So yeah guys, after a short break we'll be back with the map of Miramar. So in order to see that, we'll take a quick
but we do have the stats. The MVP of the game was Newman Gill. 6 finishes secured by the individual, 6 on Savitar, 4 on Rex. Necro, that's 16 eliminations on 3 players. Wait, what?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This team in the mid pack and also somewhat in the late pack, they weren't directly partaking in the fights. They were just in the map, shooting down players or whichever.
उनके पास बहुत ही ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग जो स्क्वाड है, हम उनकी बात करते हैं। अगर वापस से हम उसी वाला है, वहां से कमबैक करके जाना। तो अभी भी आपके पास 2 मुकाबले हैं, अपना बेस्ट दीजिए और आगे बढ़िए।
यहाँ पे बाकी है। फोकस कीजिए अगले मैच पे। अगर
Here we are. Match number 4 of the semi-finale is going to get started. My name is Rita. Along with me, we have Darshita on the desk. And yes, we are going to enjoy the clash once again in the map of Miramar. Because again, I still remember what happened in the previous Miramar. The nays coming in from Sem 9. The one before that was about to happen from Sem 9's perspective. But eventually, BN United had the stronger hold of that particular game. And that's why they were one of those teams which was so fruitful in it. But eventually, the fact is, BN United was not that fruitful when it comes to the first match of Erangel and the second match of Erangel. That means, again, just like the team D Xavier, another team is there who has a strong forte in one particular map. The other maps has to be consistent, like at least 5 to 6 months is what we are looking at, so that you can be in the top 5 positions. But at the end, yeah, top 14 positions, that's what we are looking at to get qualified. And also, guys, you are going to see another set of amazing teams tomorrow as well. Like basically, Group B is going to come in, and then Group C is also going to come in. So all of that situation combined, I believe the 32 teams, approximately 32 teams that we are going to see in this particular scenario are going to be full of a lot of clashes, and the leaderboard will change rapidly. So in order to, I guess, compensate with it, teams have to give their best and maybe survive in the top 5 in their own group, so that at the end when the leaderboard gets combined, you are still there in the top 14 positions. So that's why this match number 4 is again going to be very, very crucial. And for a fact, last 2 matches for the day are left right now, and yes, maybe at the end we are going to see some other team surviving at the top positions. For example, if we talk about the current scenario, it is D Xavier, but maybe changes will be coming in after this match happens. So yeah, the flight path again very interesting, starting from prison, going all the way to Torre Amada, a very good location to jump in. But at the end, when we talk about the clashes, again I feel like the Monteno is going to be there with the clash. But what is happening? Infinity is jumping over there, but BTR decides that they are not going to jump in that vicinity. I guess stronger sense of a, let's say, calculative approach is going to come in from BTR's perspective. That's impressive.
Oh, well, yes, that definitely has to be interesting. But again, drop clashes is something that I'm looking forward to, because we've been seeing a lot in this specific.
फाइट नहीं ली। जब जोन में आगे वहां पे रुक गए, एक स्टेबल ग्राउंड मिल गया, उसके बाद न्यूमन ने काफी
Oh, well, yes, that definitely has to be interesting. But again, drop clashes is something that I'm looking forward to, because we've been seeing a lot in this specific map of Miramar. I mean, when I say a lot, I actually emphasize it more and more, because it has been happening again and again. Montenuva is the location to look out for. It's going to be Infinity who is having a drop clash there. On the other side, if I talk about the play zone, a fair play zone again with having Power Grid, Montenuvo, Chumashera, Los Leones, La Bendita, Minas Generals, Power Grid, Trader Fields, Water Treatment. All of these places are already inside the play zone. That means it's just 1 or 2 teams that has to make their way inside the zone. Rest all the teams are really at a safer side for the very first stage itself. But yeah, again, when it comes down to the second stage or the third one, that's where things will eventually start changing. That's where things will actually pan out on who will come up on the top. But look at those areas of water treatment, Power Grid and Minas Generals. Between that, we do see 2 or 3 teams. Arankin, I feel there's going to be one player very near to him. STR is also finding enemies all set besides them. So the start is going to be very, very interesting.
Oh, definitely. The start is going to be very, very interesting, as you said, because of the fact, as we were recalling it, like the clashes are there. But maybe at this point, the clashes are also going to get avoided, because we do have 16 teams, 63 players. So the players are a bit more serious at this point, because they do know 3 good matches have been passed. All of the times where they try to gel with the lobby is done and dusted. Infamous and Sem9 once again in a fight. And I do feel like that Infamous can have the upper hand, because Sem9 is one of those teams which is still struggling when it comes to their utils and the loots. Although they have got the scars, but look at the ranked. Has got a beautiful AK in the backpack, and also for the cross-quarter combat, he has got the micro Uzi, so the maneuvers are going to be a bit more swift. But on the hindsight, if we talk about the opponent, he has also got the same exact gun. But the fact is, his secondary weapon is not that good, because he has got the Mini 14. Those trap shots can be fatal, but eventually, if the precision is there, then only. But Genesis, trust me, is actually making me trust him because of the sprays that he is coming up with, the Thompson that he's got. Another player has been taken down. It's a ranked is going to have the uplifting of taking down 2 good players, but at the and Infamous loses that champ of a player who was able to take down two good players of this particular team known as M9. And look at this formation. Both of the players which were standing tall were reviving their own teammates, and that is why the slam that might come in from Infamous might not work, because M9 is back on their feet. All the 4 guns are pretty much pointed towards them, and that is why Infamous is just going to back out from the scenario.
किसी एक का ही होगा, चैंपियन कोई एक
Yep,
ही बनने वाला है,
definitely.
बट हाँ
Udo Alliance on the other side, looking forward to what plans do they have. I mean, look at the positioning that they are holding, and everyone knows that there are players around. Box Gaming again, they always have a clash, in the drop locations that they prefer, and this time it's going to be the same. Genesis, yep, it is Genesis on the other side. It is Aura as well that is having a clash with Box. So 3 teams in one compound, which means a lot of entertainment for all of us, but these players, they are finding themselves into a pressurized scenario right now. This is the 4th map of the day, and after this we are just left with one single map of Senok, which is no one's map. I mean, I am so confident in saying that no one comes up on the top saying that I have an upper hand in Senok, being the only reason that you never know who comes up on the top. You never know that which player will be going in for a heal battle, and no matter how much fight you put in, but that player won't be seen anywhere in the map, and it will just be so problematic. But coming back to STR, once again they've decided to wait, why is that one solo player left behind for the sides of Udo? Is that the case? Refuse is, if that is the case, I feel Refuse is going to be at a very bigger problem, because look at Udo Alliance right now and look at their positioning. One player gets caught off guard, might get punished and might get completely eliminated as well, but in retaliation it will be very difficult for STR XFL. Oh well, the vehicle is, no! Is that a direct slam in? Yeah, it is a direct. It will be very difficult for STR XFL. Oh well, the vehicle is going to be very vulnerable. STR XFL, the confidence level that these players have is something that you guys need to bow down for. But if they get this 3v4, I am just giving it to them already. But what has Udo done? Look at that one player who took that vehicle, rotated off that position. Refuse, who was standing behind, gets caught off guard and goes down. STR not the best